Also, a reminder that we are usually in flooding season right now, Alan.
No worries about that.
We're counting down the clock to spring.
And this story, a great reminder, even though, of course, it's been one of the driest years on record, we are in an area that is prone to flooding, especially if we get some heavy rain. And the rainy season not quite over, but guess what? We are just about 36 hours away from the start of spring. And I'm going to skip past Wednesday and start out with this springtime forecast. It officially begins in California Thursday morning, 9:57 a.m., and I told you some cooler weather's on the way. By that time at the coast, I'm expecting afternoon highs only in the high 60s to low 70s. The valleys, however, stay in the lower to middle 70s on Thursday. But as we head towards Friday and the weekend, some much cooler weather is on the way. Santa Barbara tonight looking very nice out there. Lots of sunshine after some of that early morning marine layer, something that we'll see more of over the next several days. And we are seeing sunshine painted up and down our coastline tonight. 67 in Santa Maria, 68 in Santa Barbara, 64 right now in Lompoc, 72 in Santa Ynez, and the warm spot 73 in Paso Robles. Still some breezy conditions out there this evening, and I expect those winds to work into parts of the south coast later tonight. So we will see some breezy conditions, but all those wind advisories that were in place last night and earlier today, they have all been allowed to expire. So no wind advisories tonight, just some locally breezy to light winds out there expected, especially near our mountain passes and canyons. In terms of advisories, just one remains tonight. It expires, though, in about the next 45 minutes. It's a high surf advisory for the Central Coast beaches. And even though this advisory expires later tonight, still some lingering surf out there as we head throughout the next 24 hours. And speaking of the next 24 hours, still a warm and dry day on Wednesday. But as we head towards spring, we just talked about that, cooling begins in your forecast. In fact, by Friday, mostly 60s. For the coastal areas and the valleys, and for the weekend, it is shaping up to be a cool and cloudy weekend as well. Now, looking out across the West Coast, there's a large weather system out there across the Rocky Mountain states and the plains. For us, we're seeing a mostly northwest flow setting up tonight. And in addition to that cool down that it's going to bring us over the next several days, it could bring us some drizzle beginning Friday. And for the weekend, we could see a few wet mornings, especially Saturday. I think that's probably the best chances for seeing some drizzle. But really, when you think about it, drizzle doesn't add up to all that much. We really need a robust weather system to drop down the coast and bring us inches of rain, not just a few 100ths, which is usually the byproduct of that morning drizzle. So tomorrow, the last day of winter, it ends with sunshine and some very warm temperatures. Still for this time of the year, these daytime highs running around 5 to 10 degrees above average. 78 in Santa Ynez, 72 for Vandenberg, 78 in Santa Maria and San Luis Obispo, and topping out at 76 degrees in Atascadero. Here's that Santa Barbara 7-day forecast. Spring begins with a high of 70, and then here's that cool down with mid-60s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On these days, I think we'll see plenty of overcast through the morning into the early afternoon, with sunshine not expected until late in the day, if at all. It could be one of those patterns where that marine layer hangs on through much of the afternoon hours. Santa Maria, we go from the high 70s to the low 60s by the time we hit the weekend here. San Luis Obispo, highs into the upper 70s tomorrow. Beautiful out there on Thursday, and then back down into the 60s beginning on Friday. And in Santa Ynez, the warmth hangs on a little bit longer for the valley, so still some mid-70s Thursday, and then that cooler, cloudier forecast as we head in towards the weekend.
First time we've seen clouds for a while in the forecast.
Yeah, you know, so beautiful today with all that sunshine, but a little overcast this morning. Again, that's going to become more noticeable.